Hello and welcome to the show. We start this week's FailRace episode on Forza Horizon with Barack Obama. This is actually during our live stream on the game. Lamborghini currently sat up in second place. However, Forza had had enough. Decided the orange car should, well, be on its roof. And for no good reason, launched it in such a manner. Husky on Live for Speed, finding out that you don't really need a curb to launch your car. It carries too much speed up through this S-bend. It kind of bounces off the grass, followed by an even bigger bounce off of the tarmac. That is enough to send the Audi for a big old tumble. Mo on gravel leaves the jump a little bit wonky. The game then decides that said truck should now be very wonky. Very wonky. There's a lot of spinning involved. There would be a lot of puke involved as well, I would imagine, inside said truck. Almost lands it. Unfortunately, not quite. That's a nasty jump. Drunk Panda on Squad is getting things a little bit wrong in his truck, managing to clip a fence before the truck unceremoniously falls off of the bridge. Good to see the FailRace military brigade not quite living well. Maybe living up to their full potential, not quite getting into any of the battles, however, but there we go. Cornell the Gamer on Race 07 carries a little bit too much speed into a corner with his touring car. Once it's stuck on the grass, not much you can do about getting it stopped. Goes across a bump, almost annihilates a Peugeot with an impressive flip. Does land on his wheels, however. Minecraft GTA on Automobilista is finding out the V8 supercars. Yes, they have problems with curbs as well. This one managing to go into some sort of weird ethereal plane, having rolled along a tyre bundle on its roof. There's a lot of light and a lot of weirdness, and starting the right way up again. Perfect. Not quite how you want things to go. It's not just the cars either. Akbar on Just Cause 3 is trying to complete the side missions or whatever, tries to land his helicopter, manages to roll it off the top of one of the Resistance fighters, bails out. The helicopter then comes back. Amazingly, the helicopter actually kind of lands before it explodes, and well, then he's back into the fight. I mean, that's one way to make an arrival, make an appearance. Yeah. I'm not so sure the AI's appreciated it. Zombie Gent on Project Cars 2. This is actually following AI car. A rallycross race in which the Mustang has wandered off the circuit and ended up on its roof. The thing is, the game wasn't too happy with the performance of his AI driver here and decided to punish him by launching the Mustang up into the air. And as it got launched across the track, it then promptly fell through the floor and went to, well, I guess kind of video game hell somewhere down here as it tumbles forever into the abyss. Don't know why it suddenly decided it wanted to go up and then down, but you know, that's the weird and wonderful world of games. King Nothing on iRacing carries a bit too much speed into a corner, clonking the crash barrier. Apparently the crash barrier hadn't had its lunch and decided that the Beetle Rallycross car was a perfect candidate. As, well, I mean, it does still move. There's certainly the rear wheel very much embedded in the barrier. Doesn't eventually manage to get free, bounces off the wall before coming to a halt. Toxic McNebula on a Project Cars 2. This is a kind of a spectate mode after a qualifying session. These guys heading back to the pit lane, decide to have a bit of a mess around. Physics wants to have more of a mess around. Yeah, I'm not quite sure about that. Also not quite sure about the bouncy cars, and when they go for another nudge, it's again up to space with an Indy car. I mean, I'm no expert on physics, but I do know that that's not quite how those sort of things should work. Speaking of weird physics, Ray Kale on BeamNG Drive is trying to blow up a cement mixer with a missile from a plane, as you do. However, well, first of all, the cement mixer doesn't really care about the missile. The missile impales itself briefly on the side of the truck, goes through the cab, then gets stuck on one of the exhausts. Yep, it's still there, eventually freeing itself from the exhaust, goes up into, I guess, the cement drum at the top, before getting stuck in all of that. Cement mixer itself, yeah, not really fussed. Not really fussed about them. I mean, it's a bit of visual damage, the truck's still perfectly fine. Eventually, the missile does explode, which does, you know, break the cement drum. It's not really the most effective missile I've ever come across in a game ever. We'll be honest. On to Assetto Corsa next with a Zenith. Driving the little Peugeot 107 carries a little bit too much speed, however, into one of the corners on this fairly tight circuit. Running wide, puts some wheels into a ditch. The problem is he can't then get the Peugeot out of the ditch. No matter what they do, the car continues to be stuck driving along this ditch until eventually the ditch gets to kind of a weird size, the game gets confused and decides that, you know what, Peugeot should probably be upside down. And there seems to be a lot of what's going on here, that when games can't decide what to do with cars, just throw them on their roof and everything is okay. I mean, I approve of that methodology, let's be honest. And finally, Black and Red 81 on a NASCAR 2003 with a safety car going berserk. So, or the pace car going berserk, I should say. Basically, as it's trying to leave the pack around to start the race, when it was supposed to go and head off into the pit lane to leave the field, it started doing this. It's just going around randomly across the infield. The actual cars are still going about to their start. Normally, amazingly, the glitched out pace car will slide through. None of the cars actually get taken out by this. Somehow they all manage to avoid the haunted pace car. Go back across the field again and going to come back. For all we know, it might still be doing this. This might just be its life now. It could have been going on for many years across the circuit in such a manner. Who knows? Who knows about that one? That, though, is going to be it for this episode. As ever, if you have clips you'd like to submit to this series, you can via our forums. There'll be a link in the description. At the very top of the page is the FailRace clip submission section, and you can find all of the rules and how to submit them in there. However, that's going to be it from me. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.